You are listening to the Babe You've Got This podcast, where you receive mindset and business coaching designed for the everyday gal who has big goals and dreams and is craving that guidance, insight, and reaffirmation for creating more success in their life. This is episode number 19, and we are talking all about creating abundance during a time of isolation. So I'm going to be sharing with you my top 5 tips on how you can grow the amount of abundance you feel and experience whilst we are actually experiencing a pandemic and a time of chaos in the world right now with this COVID-19. And I'm really excited for you to learn these takeaways, these points that I'm going to talk about, because they're not necessarily going to be what you might expect. The tasks to create more abundance would be whilst you're at home in isolation, or whilst you're whether you're in isolation, quarantined, or whether you're just actually choosing just to lay low. So sit back, grab your pen and paper. You are going to want to write these top tips down so you can start implementing them. Just a reminder to hit subscribe so you are always in the loop when a new episode drops. I'm honestly so grateful that I can give you this time and content today as you listen in, and just remember to leave a heart-filled review and 5 sparkly stars if you are listening through iTunes, or leave your love-filled comments in the comment section below. By this process, you are contributing to the bigger vision and impact of inspiring and helping women just like you to grow their success, to grow their mindset, to grow their level of abundance. And honestly, don't forget to leave your Instagram handle so I can give you a shout out and recognize you for your greatness too. All right, let's get started. Hey guys, hope you have been well in this crazy time. It is the 25th of March, 2020. And I am currently in the second week of my self-quarantine phase during this COVID-19 pandemic. And yeah, it's the topic of the town, it's the topic of the globe today, this month, and it will be for a few more months to come. So why not take advantage of something that seems to be making such a huge impact on the world? Well, it seems to be, it is making a huge impact on the world, and how we can turn it around and actually, make this time benefit us, and how we can go about our day and what we can add in and start implementing, so we can not get caught up in the fear, because that's what so many people seem to be doing. So first of all, I would love to give a shout out to this beautiful human who has left a gorgeous review on our iTunes channel. And where has it gone? So this is to the beautiful Tessa. Her username's Tessa Dash. She has said, "A breath of fresh air. I recently discovered Kim's podcast and now I'm addicted. So many gems of wisdom to incorporate into my life. Just what I needed." Oh, Tessa, this makes me feel so good, because it means that what I'm sharing is actually helping. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for that beautiful message and review. It honestly means the world. So I will be tagging you on our Babe You've Got This Instagram. So if you're listening and you'd love to go give Tessa a follow and give her some love, go for gold, you'll be able to access it then. Obviously in the show notes, you'll be able to access her Instagram as well, as long as with our Instagram. But you just search, babe.you've.got.this. All right. So do you know what happens? I always write my little notes of what I want to talk about, and then they disappear on me. I don't even know how. They just go missing. I swear I see them, and then next minute they're like, oh, here they are. They were perfectly hiding under a piece of paper. So first of all, I know it's been a few weeks since you've had an episode from me. I traveled India. I spent some time in India, and I'll give you a little recap, because I know so many of you are so keen to hear about it. Plus I'm going to do a full episode on it, but right now I think focusing more, giving you some more tools and strategies rather than just telling you a travel trip story is going to be more beneficial to you right now. But India was amazing. It was so magical. It is everything I didn't expect and expect at the same time. And oh my gosh, it was honestly, it was a life-changing but not like, oh my God, you have to go to India, it's life-changing. It was just the things I learned about myself. And if you've seen my post that I've done on my personal Instagram account, you'll see it's where the first photo is me covered in powdered paint. It's kind of like the town we're in, the little village we're in, it's just got this pink paint powder everywhere, and it's just me like surrendering to the paint. So you can go find that and have a read of the lessons that I took away, because it might be a really nice, maybe something you need to read right now and be reassured about. But it definitely was a trip of a lifetime, and I actually can't wait to go back. I went with a tour trip. My personal development coaches, MJB seminars. They take people on travel trips every so often, and yeah, I went to this one, and it was amazing. So I don't want to go too much into it because I'll save it all for the next episode. 5 top tips for creating more abundance in your life right now. So the reality is we're going through a pandemic. We have a virus that's on the loose that unfortunately is taking the lives of thousands of people. And we're in Australia, and we definitely, and I'm going to put my hand up to this because this was me 2 weeks ago. And I know so many people are still in that space. I'm not anymore. So I'm going to say that so many people are not taking responsibility of what's going on in our country and the world right now. So many people are ignoring the fact that we do need to isolate ourselves just to stop the spread. Now, I'm someone who, I'm all about health and wellness. You know that I run a wellness program. I teach everything to do with boosting your immune system. I teach myself this. I implement, I supplement, I eat plants, I avoid foods and drinks that are going to put stress on my immune system. So I'm really confident in my immune system. So I'm not afraid of the virus myself. What concerns me, and I'm not afraid of it, and one of my biggest passions, bit of a tangent here, one of my biggest passions or my mission at the moment through social media is helping you guys, or helping people just reduce the stress and worry and reduce the fear, because all that is doing is putting stress on the body and making people have turmoil in their life, in building the inner turmoil, building the suffering. And this pandemic is going to cause enough suffering as it is. We need to do our part and take responsibility on how we're reacting and how we're controlling our mindset, so we can look after ourselves, because that's all we can do is look after ourselves. And if we all look after ourselves, everyone's going to get looked after, right? So now I went on that tangent. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So what I'm more concerned about is the fact that I was against the lockdown. I was like, we can just live our lives. It's fine. Just avoid blah, blah, blah. But the reality is the concern is on the economy. The concern is on, yes, people are losing their jobs. At the same time, more jobs have opened up in the grocery industry, and all that type of thing, because there's such a demand. So there is definitely a duality happening where jobs are being lost, but jobs are also being offered, just in different industries. And opportunity lies within chaos. Chaos creates opportunity. So in times of recessions and mad chaos is where multi-million-dollar businesses and ideas and brands get created. So I'm not scared of, and I don't want you guys to be scared of what's happening right now. The world is not ending, but what we do need to be mindful of and concerned about is the fact that if we don't put a halt to the spread of this virus, because obviously it's affecting a lot of vulnerable, weak immune people, it's going to put a lag and a delay on us rebuilding and getting back to not being in a pandemic. So and I know Australia has been quite slow across the board with this. Other countries have gone into lockdown, and we definitely have been encouraged isolation, and rules have been put in place to stop group meetups and all that stuff. But people, guys, if you're someone who you're still being whatever, I'm still going to go live my life, and you're not going to take this isolation thing seriously and just social distance yourself, you are going to slow the process of this ending. And from an economic point of view, even if your job is safe, it's still putting an impact on the wider economy, which is still going to affect everything else in your life. Whether you have, and then if you have lost your job, the people who aren't isolating are just making you not get a job last longer, if that makes sense. So I'm really grateful I get to work from home, And and the working from home industry is booming at the moment. Everyone's like, okay, how can I work from home? How can I make opportunity in this chaos? And but that's what we need to do. We need to be isolating to stop the spread, so the economy doesn't crash as much as it potentially could, and getting our life back on track. And removing that fear. Like, a lot of this fear is not the people who aren't fearing the sickness and the pain from COVID-19, like the physical suffering from catching the disease. They're suffering from the stress of not having enough money, going into a lack mentality, scarcity mentality. And guys, to be honest, if you're someone, unless you have a very compromised immune system risking death with catching the virus, so just take away that part for a moment. If you're someone who, you might catch it and you experience the flu, you're actually going to hurt yourself more if you're more fearful of the economy side of things, of the financial side of things. So we need to do our best to avoid the interaction and spreading this virus, because you could just be a carrier of it. I'm dead certain that if I somehow caught the virus, I wouldn't experience symptoms. I would be a carrier. So I'm making sure I'm keeping myself away, because we need to reduce this lack and this fear around the money side of things. So speaking of this, 5 tips how to create more abundance right now. So we want to feel abundant. We don't want to be feeling lack and scarcity and fear, because all that is doing is creating more stress and more pain and more suffering in our life right now. So, oh my gosh, this is probably not going to be a nice, short and sweet episode. This is going to be full of goodness. So embrace yourself. Oh my gosh, I breathed in the wrong way and I'm like starting to choke on air. This is great. Number 1, don't spend more money than you need to. Obvious, very obvious. Now, people are spending up. People are going crazy at the shops. They're stockpiling. They're doing all this stuff. They are spending money. They're at home paying more for gaming, for Netflix, for takeaways and all this stuff. And they're worrying about money, but they're spending all their money. And all this is happening is causing more fear and scarcity. So it's very obvious. Don't spend more than you need to. And I think one of the best things that's helped me is whenever I do go to buy something, it's like, do I need this? I have, I follow a wealth principle system where I allocate my money anyway. So if it's something that doesn't come from an account that's already been allocated, and even with that, it's even if like hubby and I, if we want, sometimes we do feel like, we just love to get some takeaway right now. Can't be bothered cooking, whatnot. That's a $40, $50 food trip, including delivery fee, just for 2 people, and do we really need that right now? What are we craving that we could make at home? So it's a very successful thing to do if you want to create more abundance, because you're reducing the amount of money you spend. So speaking from an abundance side financially, from that wealth side, don't spend more than you need to. And I want to make a point before I started these top 5 is this is something actually that I just went live stream in my beautiful wellness program. So I've launched, I don't know if you've seen it, it's very new. I've just launched Abundance Club. So Abundance Club is an online coaching program that is a beautiful fusion of holistic health education, life coaching, money mastery. So mastering your wealth principles and your relationship with money. And between myself and a couple of other beautiful coaches within my business, we are running this weekly coaching program all through Facebook. Plus there's some beautiful ebooks, how to set up your miracle morning, how to grow your self-love, how to plate up, how to, like when it comes to nutrition, workout videos, following the moon cycles and how to use the moon cycles to your advantage, right? New moon rituals, full moon rituals, all that stuff. So I just went live stream on this, and I've decided, because I've had so much feedback when I kind of teased everyone on social media that who would love to know what the 5 top tips I talked about in Abundance Club. And I thought that with this, I would be extra generous and just share these with you through this free podcast. You get to access this information for free right now, obviously listening to this. So just wanted to let you know that I'm so passionate about these 5 tips of how they are going to help you, that I didn't want to just keep it to my Abundance Club members. I wanted to share them with you too. So number one, don't spend more than you need to. I want to keep that super obvious and just keep that in your brain. Number two, well, spend more time at home, right? Unless you are physically, like you have signed a document saying that you are self-quarantined and you are risking thousands of dollars worth of fine if you're caught leaving your house. If you're just, if you've come back from traveling, if you're someone who you don't have to quarantine or you don't have to self-isolate, I'm saying to choose to spend more time at home. What you're going to do is you can exercise from home. You're saving money right here, right now. You have the freedom to do whatever, like any kind of exercise you want at home. You've got access to the internet. There are so many different, you can go onto the Kim Kent YouTube channel, right? Along with where we upload the Babe You've Got These podcast episodes through YouTube, we also have workout videos there that you can access. So they've got home workout videos you can do. So you can spend more time at home, you can exercise, you can start cooking. So this is going to help give you, inspire you to be more creative, or push you to be a bit more creative and start connecting to food, connecting to your nutrition, be more conscious of what you're putting in your plate. And you're not going to be spending money on takeaway, right? Again, spending more time at home, it allows you to be in a space of yes, we crave connection as human beings, but we also, connection with other human beings creates distraction from being connecting with our inner self. I really like that. I'll say it again. Kind of just came to me. So creating connection with other human beings distracts us from creating the connection to our inner self. Being home, spending more time at home and isolating and just keeping your social distance, you're able to you have that time to go more inside, and connect to you, and like asking yourself, like, what am I here to do? What am I passionate about? How do I want to make a difference? What are the goals that I have for this year in 2020? How do I want life to look? Like it's really important to be able to do this, because when you spend time going inwards and focusing on yourself, you're going to be seeing how much you have to give. And we all have so much to give. And when you realize how much you have to give, it is creating more abundance. It's creating a more abundant energy. It's taking you out of the worry and concern, and I don't have this, and this is happening, and I'm scared about this, to, okay, this is who I am. This is what I'm proud of. This is what I'm grateful for. So spending more time at home, you can spend that time meditating, getting into a state of gratitude, looking around and seeing how much you actually have, which will go into my third top tip. So just spending more time at home gives you so much opportunity to connect to yourself. Feelings of abundance come from within. So you have the time to work on yourself and your mindset and how you want to be feeling. And accessing like the podcasts, the ebooks, or the audiobooks and all that stuff out there. Number 3, detox the home. I love doing a good detox. I do a good detox every time I move house, every season. So again, detox a home, write that down. Now, you start room by room. What is in your lounge room that you might have been keeping little bits of paper, little ornament, or just dust collectors and whatnot that you can get rid of? Do a nice clean the energy, burn some incense, heading over to your kitchen. Now, obviously, in a time like this, you don't want to be throwing out food. However, what is in the back of your pantry that you're never going to eat, but you're hoarding it because you don't like the idea of actually throwing out food, but it's just dead processed food that you're never going to consume? Like I just chucked out, we had this raspberry Christmas pudding thing that one of our friends brought over to contribute to one of our Friendsmas barbecues. And I don't like throwing away food, so I've kept it, but I'm never going to eat it because I don't eat that crap. And the fact that a pudding comes in a box that doesn't go off for a very long time just doesn't really entice me. So I chucked it out, and I chucked out these old supplements I had that were all man-made, chemically ones that have just been sitting there because I'm like, if I chuck it out, I'm wasting money, but I'm not consuming it. So go through your kitchen, chuck out any old Tupperware or plates and all that type of stuff you can donate. Get rid of the stuff you're not using and you're not going to actually need. Head into your wardrobe, get rid of some clothes. Summer's pretty much finished now. We're transitioning, we're in autumn, we're transitioning into cooler weather. What in your summer section did you not touch once through summer? because that's a sign to say that, yes, you're holding on to it because you love it, but you're not actually wearing it. I went through and I've gotten rid of half of my wardrobe and I've donated it. And you know what? When it comes to abundance and creating that feeling of abundance and like you have more, the more you give, the more you feel like you have. So it's not about what you can get, it's about what you can give. So getting rid of the stuff in your home is, what can you donate, or what can you get rid of? It actually opens two things. It proves to the universe that you have over and above what you need, and you have enough to give away, so you have enough to be generous, so you will always attract more. And the other thing is when you clear out and declutter, that's energy, whether it's physical matter or it's, you know, messages in your inbox or emails or files on your computer, whatever it is, it's still an energy. And when you get rid of it, when you remove that energy, you create space to attract more in. So abundance is the feeling of having more. You want to, if you clear space, you're going to get rid of things. You're going to clear the space to attract more in. So it's a very powerful thing to do. And just start one room at a time. And look, you're spending more time at home. Can you see how these tips, these 5 tips I'm talking about, kind of all interlink? So number 4 is connection. Pick up the phone. So as I was talking about connection in person, the most beautiful thing about the day and age we live in right now is there is an internet, there is phone service. You're going to be spending more time at home, right? So in that time, you can actually connect one-on-one, reach out to your family and friends and actually see how they're going. This falls into the aspect of giving as well, because you're giving your time and your energy into seeing how someone is and giving that compassion and giving that love and giving that consideration. And even if you just call them and say, look, I just have 5 minutes, or just have 2 minutes. I just wanted to check in and see, like, are you okay? How is everything going for you? Or send a beautiful text message. I just did that the other day, and I just reconnected with a couple of good friends where, you know, you don't need to talk all the time. You know that they're there, same as family. And I just made that effort. And it felt, honestly, it felt really beautiful. It just felt so nice that I didn't need them to ask me how I am. I don't want to talk about all the stuff I'm experiencing right now. Unless they ask, I will, but I'm not going to look for that. I'm going just to give and genuinely check in with all the people in my life, and, you know, just wanting to give them that love. And that's making me feel good and me feel more abundant, that I have all this love to give. So it's definitely a beautiful time to keep that connection whilst we're isolating ourselves and keeping ourselves distant for the madness and the virus, right? Last tip, number 5 is, okay, this is my favorite. This is a little bit separate to all the others. It kind of connects with number 1. Go to your online banking and open up a brand new online account. They are free. If your bank does not offer them for free, then you need to get a new bank. And open up a savings do not touch account. You might already do this. Amazing. If you have not done this, you need to do this now. Now, you might have a savings account, but if you have a savings just for the sake of, you've just been saving there, but you pull on it every now and then, you withdraw from it, it's a savings that whatever your goal is at the time is what you're saving for. So you have a savings there, and you know that you're going on a holiday, so it's going towards that. When you come home from the holiday, you start saving it back into that account again, because you want to buy a house, or you want to buy this, or whatever. You want to buy a boat, or I don't know, whatever it might be. Now, that is in the do not touch account. That is a savings for something specific, not a savings to grow your self-worth, right? So you need to have a do not touch account. And how this works is you want to put a very small percentage of your income into this every time you get paid. My tip is, if you have your bank accounts, if you have, like, say one of your bank account, you have $102.25, transfer the $2.25 and put it into the do not touch. Go round off all your accounts, and like, you're already putting something in there. Now, this only needs to be a small amount. I started to put 4% of my income in. I started this account 2 years ago. Now I put 7% of my income in. Within 2 years, between Daniel and myself, our do not touch account, we have saved $20,000. And this is just putting in just a little bit. And as we do this, we see it grow. We do not touch it, because we know it is our self-worth. It is a reflection of our self-worth. And if you pull from your self-worth, you are telling yourself and the universe that you are not worthy of having more income. And this is a huge thing for me because I've been someone who I used to stress and be, you've heard my story. Money has been the root of my anxiety and stress and bad health back in the day. And even now it's the one thing that would ever trigger me to relapse into any kind of feeling of anxiety and worry, especially like we're in a bloody pandemic right now. My husband's not working, so we're just relying on my income. And the beautiful thing is, as much as the thoughts come back, I have this do not touch account that I have been building up. And it's for times like these where it just takes away the emotion of money. It knows that we've got something there if anything was to happen, but we don't spend it. But you know what I mean? Like worst case scenario, we go through fucking apocalypse or something. I don't know. Maybe not that, because we wouldn't need money for an apocalypse. We just need, I don't know, to run and hide. But there's a money there to avoid feelings of stress and worry. But the idea is you do not touch it. And then you earn the right to invest this. So you want to keep growing it. Now, you might only be able to put $5 each paycheck, and that is okay. You might only be able to put 50 cents per paycheck. But the idea is you're putting something in there, and it is accumulating and accumulating, and you do not touch it. So if you put too much in there and you feel the need to take from it, you need to lower the amount, because otherwise, once you touch it once, you'll be okay with continually touching it, and you'll never keep growing it. And then you start condemning yourself and feeling shit, and that is not creating abundance in your life. So creating a do not touch account is so, so important. I've already had heaps of my clients already creating this. And even though they've only got, one of them's like, I've got $100 in there, I'm so excited, because that's $100, like that slowly, like tiny little bits is all that they could put from each paycheck, because they're so limited to what they could save. But they were just so proud of themselves that that's there, and they're seeing it grow. So create a do not touch account. Even if it's just every now and then I go through my accounts and I'll round off and transfer all the little cents and the couple of dollars that are in the accounts and put it in. And I always put in a percentage of my paycheck. Now, the other tip with this is, when you get paid, you must put your savings in there first before you pay your bills, before you do anything else, even paying yourself and giving yourself some splurge money. Put your money into your savings first, because you're showing the universe that your self-worth is the most important thing. And this is part of the wealth principles that I actually teach in Abundance Club, in our coaching, online coaching membership program. And this stuff works. If you feel like you need to want more money in your life, or you want to feel more abundant from a wealth and financial side, this is these little things that you've got to do to create that outcome, and it works. So number 5 is create a do not touch account. Start small, even if it's small amount of cents. It's just to have it there and never withdrawing from it. If you guys have any questions, like, please reach out, like ask me. I'd love to chat more about this. I think I've talked for about half an hour now, maybe even more. I know this has been a bit of a long podcast, and I'm truly hope that you took some value from this. So 5 top tips to create abundance right now during this crazy time. I'll just recap. Don't spend more money than you need to. Spend more time at home. Take the responsibility to stop the spread of this virus. Whether you are healthy or not, you don't know that you might come across it and spread it to someone else, and it's not stopping or even slowing down the growth of this. We want this to stop so life can get back to normal. Detox the home. Clear the energy, clear the space, donate the stuff that you're getting rid of if it's still in good nick. Give yourself that space to know that you have more than enough, so you can give. Connection, pick up the phone, share the compassion, share the love. So go give that beautiful energy to the friends and family you care about, and open up a do not touch account. So I don't think I breathed once through all of that. I really hope you love that. I'm really passionate about this. And so this is the type of stuff, I know that was a shit ton of value. And this is the type of stuff that I share in Abundance Club. So you can create more abundance in your life and create more success and more better health and better wealth and more happiness and all the stuff that humans crave in life. Like, I'm here to help you create that. So If you have any questions about Abundance Club, we're still launching the website. As I said, it's brand new. We've done a soft launch. We've got some of our members already in there, absolutely loving it. And I know that this is just going to keep growing and growing. So please reach out if you have any questions about it and you'd love to know more. I'd love to share info with you. We do have space because we're still in soft launch phase. We still have space for more members, and that is going to be filling up, and we are going to be capping it because we don't want too many people in the club as we're growing it, because we want to be able to help each individual in there so you get that personal experience through that. So and don't forget to leave a review, guys. Please share this on your social media. I would love to see this shared in your stories. So you just don't know who else needs to hear this, guys. And obviously this information is for you, and I love that you're taking the time to listen to this and take on board these tips, but you don't know who else needs to hear this. And this is a word of mouth business. Sharing these podcasts, like, I don't pay for advertising, is all based on you guys sharing this and myself sharing this, and hopefully growing the impact to help more women just like us, you know, have more abundance, have more happiness, have more success, learn the tools, learn the strategies, and grow their mindset. So please share. I'm forever grateful. And yeah, I'm pretty sure that's everything. As you know, I can ramble, so I'm going to stop talking now. I hope you have the most amazing day, as best as you can. And please let me know if you start implementing these tips and how they've helped you, and which tip you liked best. That would be so cool. Let me know through social media. And yeah, I guess that's it. So peace out, homies.